Hi, my name is Sky, and this is my review of Tabula Rasa. I got my hands on a 3-day trial key, and if anybody else is going to try that, I believe in some cases trial key, you can give away an infinite number of trial keys if you own the game. I would recommend downloading and installing the game first, and then get the trial key and start playing. I had problems, and it literally took me about a day to get the game running. I kind of learned after the fact, or a friend of mine was telling me that downloading the game fills up your cache, and so that's why my computer was freezing. Anyways, the game, for those not aware, is a first-person shooter style MMO role-playing game. So it's some interesting concepts, and concepts which we're seeing in other games, right now. And right off the top of my head is Call of Duty 4, as well as the new Battlefield. So Battlefield 2 and Battlefield 2142. They're incorporating this idea that with a shooter you can enhance certain aspects about yourself, so you can do more things or have special abilities on top of what you can normally do, which in my opinion is a good way to go about it. It adds to the reward factor for wanting to play the game. Sticky targeting is available in the game, and that was kind of an interesting concept, and I was like, I was curious, would that ruin the gameplay experience? But actually it's quite nice, because the action gets a little frenetic at times, kind of crazy and chaotic, and by literally just holding down the left mouse button, the fire button, on a target, you maintain that lock on the target, even if you move around, change the direction you're running and this and that, and maintain fire, even when you reload, and continue firing. Now, the tutorial was a little bare bones, a little simplistic, but I think this was done on purpose, because for a lot of players it's just the simple thing that they want to run a gun, they want to get into the action of fighting, and some simple instructions of how to get to that. The more complicated side is the skill tree, and explaining the skill trees, and then the less combat-oriented side of things. I think, and it's a little hard. It was a little hard to kind of figure out and understand some of those things, and there are a number of traits and qualities that were just kind of you're not too sure what they were for, or how to use them effectively. On top of that, how do you put them into the action slots? So there's two action slot sets at the bottom. I guess you could say there's a 5 slot on the left for guns you can choose from, 1 through 5, number pad, and then on the right hand side are skills, items you can use, etc. And those you activate with the right mouse button, and you have to cycle through them with a keyboard key. Now, I was real skeptical, and it was a little hard for me to start getting into the game, but after a while the action really started taking over, and you could really just kind of have fun running around doing whatever. You could be on a mission and see the enemy and engage them, or move off, run past them, whatever you desired. And in a lot of cases I would see other players engaged with the enemy and just quickly join in and help them out. It took me a little while to figure out and understand the difference between regular ballistics, EMP, and then towards the end of the gameplay, or my period, laser was made available, and I wasn't too certain of what new or special was going on with that. I will say this though, since I like the game, I'm going to get the collector's edition, which has a lot of different, added bonuses. In particular, a free month added to your game account, a challenge coin, some dog tags, some maps, and an in-game robot, which you can have floating right next to you. I'm not too sure what it can do though, or if you can give it some certain abilities. That was a pretty interesting thing about it was the skill tree. Actually, what I like about the game in particular is the skill tree. Rather than you pick a class and you're stuck with that class for the whole game, you start out as a recruit and you diversify. You change your class based on what you want to go for. You can access the class and look at the skill, or access the class tree, look at the skills available to each, and figure out where you want to take your guy. And once you change class, the previous classes are still available to you. The game is still a little buggy, but it just started, and if anything, you can still work in the game. You can still make the game work for you very effectively. And it's just occasionally you run around and you see an enemy stuck in the walls. But I also participated in an in-game event, which turned out to be quite interesting. There's 4 main servers or game worlds you can interact with, but based on your geographic location. And then when you go to a map, then the starting map area is a forest land set on an island with mountains and water. And what was really neat, what I liked about the gameplay was that the distances were not great, and there were teleports everywhere, so you could quickly transport. And the engineer class tree, they can access and create teleport systems, as well as little turrets. And I even saw giant mechs walking around, piloted by NPCs. And I want to play the game and build a mech. So it was quite impressive. And I've heard that jump jets are going to become available later, or they're already available, because floating up in the space above the little battlefield that we were on is a giant enemy spacecraft. And I was just really curious. I'm really interested in flying up there and taking it down. Anyways, so back to the in-game event. A guild has been working with the staff of Tabula Rasa and has staged about a couple events previous and given out rewards for achieving certain victory points or victory conditions as established by whoever's issuing or creating the event. And so for us it was, we've decoded a message, the enemy is going to attack this one little base. We split between 3 game maps. It's the same game map, but it's on different servers. So there's a higher, so this is, I actually like that, because that way you're not stuck on one server only, except for the whole how you're accessing the game. So Orion was mine, I think, because of Western United States. But because enemies can take control points such as bases, and you can take control points as bases. I would recommend go to the most populated server. Go to all the friendly areas and collect all the quests you can, and if you really want to, go to the underpopulated servers and try to take over the bases. Or just, as soon as you get all the quests, then, and as well as the teleport spaces, then go about and complete the quest, because there's a lot of killing and stuff like that. Kind of incomplete review, I'm sorry about that.